Can I check the file which I have copied yesterday using command HDFS DFS -lsn /? Yes, both the files are there. And can I check whether they are corrupted? Can I read them? Can I read them? So I can read this file, that this is my testing file. Okay. So Anshika, I think let me just write one mail. Other may be waiting for mail. I'll just write a mail that they have to join the same link. Just allow me 2 minutes. Okay, so now I want to perform some other activity. And since I'm going from this terminal, I will write top and then I'll move on from here. Open a cell, sorry, text pad, and in this text pad, let's write Hadoop commands. Copy, put, and get was done yesterday. So we want to start from third step. Copy file from HDFS to, or let's create a directory first. Create a directory in HDFS. How do we create a directory in HDFS? Then copy file from HDFS to HDFS. Move file from HDFS to HDFS. Sixth, remove file or directory from HDFS. See file content from HDFS. Check file size, or don't check the file size because DU will work here. Change permission of file or directory in HDFS. Change ownership of a file in HDFS. Change group name of file in HDFS. These are all basic things, right? We have seen in Unix also. 11th is FAQ, frequently asked question. Increase or decrease block size. So by default block size is 128 MB, but we have said this is a default which we can increase or decrease as per our requirement. Yeah. So create a directory in HDFS. Can I know what command what command shall I use here to create the directory? Give me full command, guys. Anyone? CD is for changing directory. CD is not to create a directory. mkdir is right, but what will be my absolute command? Full command I'm looking for. Right, this time it is good. So let me first write it in my cell here. Then I will copy and do some activity. So my task is here to create the directory. My task is here to create directory in HDFS. Okay. My task is to create a directory in HDFS, and it will be HDFS, because I'm keep repeating this guys for you. Whenever I want to do any activity in Hadoop, I will have to write this. HDFS, DFS is a must. Without this, if you make a mistake, okay, if you write this in thinking that I'm creating folder and directory in HDFS, you're wrong, because you have not written HDFS and DFS. This is pointing to local file system. This is not pointing to your Hadoop distributed file system. Double sure you are every time writing this in Hadoop whenever you do any single activity. Please remember this. HDFS DFS minus mkdir, and then I'll give a directory name, and that directory name I decided to give big data. So this is my directory which I've created in big data. But again, don't think that you can do cd and then you can do big data. Okay, because this cd thing you are writing, have you mentioned HDFS DFS? No. So first thing, that you are trying to access directory from HDFS. Let me write in English this for you. So what does this mean? This mean you created a directory in HDFS. Created directory in HDFS. This is a common mistake. This is a common mistake which people do. Created directory in HDFS. And using this line, it is saying that you are trying to change the directory. You're trying to change the directory from existing directory to slash big data directory change the directory from existing directory to big data directory. But one thing, big mistake, you are using a command called cd, and this cd is working only in a local file system. We don't have such command available in HDFS. And how can I surely see that? Because I know my command. If I don't remember anything, this is what you should do. If you stuck somewhere and you're unable to understand, run this command. This is a help command for you. And try searching. When you type HDFS and DFS, do you find that option? Do you find that cd is available here? No cd works, because this is a volatile memory. Try to Google, try to read, try to understand what volatile means. Volatile does not have any physical existence. Their directory is only created just to differentiate between files, so that I can, when I want to access the file, I can define the absolute path and I can access this. So HDFS DFS is your rescue. Every time you should write that whenever you got stuck anywhere. Okay, so people who think even when I started working, I was thinking that if I do HDFS DFS minus cd and big data, this will work. No, this won't work, because there is no such option, minus cd option. And that's why I ask you to perform this activity. Check the list, find the option, then only use it. Don't use blindly anything which is not there. So in HDFS, what if I want, in HDFS, let's say I've created a folder here. The quick question. So this is my terminal, and here I am running a command HDFS DFS minus mkdir slash big data. This is how I created my first directory, root directory. Can I say this is my root directory in HDFS? Because there I can see slash. I can see big slash there before big data. So that's why it's root directory. And then again I decided to create one more directory inside big data, and I gave a name HDFS DFS minus mkdir slash big data slash hd. and then I decided to move a file. So suppose in this folder, in this Hadoop folder, there is a file. When I list here, after copying a file, I can see there is a file big data hd slash sample. Okay, when I'm listing this, I can see it, and I want to read the content of this file because this is a directory. This is a directory. This is a subdirectory, and this is a file. So I want to see the content inside this file. I want to see content inside this file. Can I get a command, guys? Here, what should I write to see the content? Suppose here in the sample, it is written hey. It is just written hey. So I want to see this in my console in HDFS. What command should I write here? Just a cat command will give me answer. Please write the whole command. Whole command, guys. Whole command. I want to read the file, I'm saying. So please give the file name also. How will you write the file name? How, if you want to see the same thing in your machine, how will you run? What command you will run? So no right answer so far I received. Yeah, Anshika, that's right. So Suminda, you logically you're right, but what mistake, again, common mistake we are making? Look, what common mistake we are doing here? You want to read this file, right? So when you want to read this file, you'll have to go one by one. You cannot directly write this file name. This file is present inside HD. This HD is present inside big data. And then I can access this. I cannot write this. If I write this, it will throw me exception that no such file is there. I cannot access this directly. Please remember, I can only access this when I access first root directory, then subdirectory, then the file. It is like you have one file in C drive and then directly I can go without going to C drive to directly file. This is not possible, right? So logically we will have to run. I'll give the answer and I get one answer. Right answer, big data, HD and sample. This is what I need to write to see the output. Okay, so please follow the full path. Please follow the absolute path. Don't follow the relative path. This is the absolute path. And I can assure you one, that in Hadoop, in HDFS, we don't give a relative path. We will have to give every time absolute path. Every time this path is required, because no such command works here. No such command work. I cannot go from one directory to second directory and then I can directly access this file. I don't have such provision here. Okay, so at times it becomes difficult. That's why understand what path we are following, how we are creating the directory and so on. So I've created a directory here. I've created my directory and again I'll run. So whenever I confuse, I run this command in my real time also. This is my command for observation, how many files and folders are there. I can see big data is there, folder which I have created, and let me copy this command and paste it here. Now I want to copy. So I'll be keep asking questions for this, and they are exactly similar as Linux. So I expect answer from you. This is something new. This is something new which I'll tell you. But out of this everything is known to you, all of you. Okay. Uh, if I want to copy, so let me give one requirement to you guys. I want to copy this test file inside big data. I want to copy this test file inside big data. So what command should I write here? I want to copy this test file, and whenever you say copy means this will be there itself, and one more new file will be created inside big data. Copy means what? The previous file is there itself in that position, that directory location, new file will be created. Guys, please write the full command, because this is where we make a mistake. So Jatinder is right. HDFS DFS minus CP. Yes, this is right. Please, you also practice for the full command. Don't only write the command. DFS HDFS DFS minus CP and source. What source? Test and big data. If I write this, I'm wrong. If I write this and try to run this command, and I'm thinking that I'm running the right command, but why this is giving me mistake as an wrong answer or giving me error? Why? Can anyone tell me? How can I this thing is wrong which I have written there? So how can I correct this? Full path, yes. So I will have to give full path, and here I have to give, if you compare this file and this, there's a big time slash missing. This file, this folder, and this folder, there's no slash. You're making a mistake, syntax mistake. Okay, so let me run this first. What error it gives? No such file or directory. There's no such file or directory named big data. So I will have to write just one slash before T and one slash before B. That's it. HDFS DFS minus ls slash big data. Enter. And again, if I want to read the content of this, I can use HDFS DFS minus cat big data and test. Then I can read it. You just have to follow the path. Whatever you are seeing in your screen, please follow the absolute path. Rarely you will make a mistake then. So copy is also done. Copy is also done. Quickly guys, this one. So I want to move this file test, and I want to move here only, and I want to change the name. So let's say from test I want to change this to test1. Here only. I want this file here only in the same directory, but I want to change the name of the file from test to test1. That's what is your moving. Or maybe you can move this file from here to somewhere else. Big data test and big data test1. Yes, that's right. So fine, I think people started understanding now. HDFS DFS minus MV, and I will give big data test and big data test1. Remember the syntax. Do not try to recognize this all the instruction. Remember the concept. What syntax we are following? This is source, this is destination. This is core fundamental, guys. Core fundamental of Linux and Unix, and same we are using in Hadoop also. So source is my this, and I want to create one more file with this. If I run this command, my file name will change, and when again I list, I'll see test1 instead of test. So this is how my moving can work, and maybe I can move this file from here to somewhere else also. So moving can help me to rename. Ideally they can help me to rename the file, or they can help me to move the file from one directory to second directory. This is the command. In CP command, why we have not used the full path. We have used the full path. We have used the full path. Can you specify your question a bit? Like big data test. Because in big data test, you already have a test file inside big data. Here you don't have anything. First, you're copying the test file inside big data. In this time, there is no test folder inside big data. You are trying to copy this test file inside this. There is nothing after this. You cannot write big data slash test. There is nothing, right? First, you are trying to copy this. Look at here. Check from beginning. First, you created a folder. If you have created a folder, there is no such file. It's a blank. It is not having any file inside the big data. That's why. Here I'm my both time my objective is different. At first place I'm trying to copy. At second place I'm trying to move. But when I'm trying to move, already I have a test file available inside this folder. Here I don't have any test folder. Here there is no test, nothing. Okay, so now what is our task? Remove the file. Remove the file and directory. So how can we remove the file? Yes, Ominda. So we'll have to uh, check couple of files. Like start doing this activity for 5 files, 10 files. Then you'll get to know like what is the source, what file we should write, and how to write. When we start doing one by one. So I'll share this command. Okay, we can create some file. You guys can create some file and start doing this one by one. For 3 to 4 times you can start. You can repeat it. So I want to remove the file, and I'll tell you specifically that I want to remove this file. Let me first again list down. So I'll be keep running this command HDFS DFS minus ls. I want to remove this file. What command should I write? What is the command for remove in Unix? HDFS DFS test to delete the file inside test folder. Test is not a folder, sir. Jatinder. Whenever you check, please check the file name and please check this thing also. If you find dir, then only it's a directory. If you don't find dir, it's not a directory, it's a file. Suminda, again you made a mistake. You said rm test. Before test there is a slash. There's a slash before test. Yeah. So please remember, I'm notifying a very micro thing, but at times you think this is all right, but why I'm getting mistake? Mistake is coming just because of syntax. So double sure the syntax. Anyways, doing multiple times the same activity, things can work. Now it is saying name node trash configuration, deletion interval 0 minutes, empty interval 0 minutes, deleted test. No problem. I can always I will re-verify whether my command worked or not. When I run again ls command, I can see there is no test file now. There is no test file. Okay, there is no test file. So this is for file. This is for file. If you want to remove any directory, okay, if you want to remove any directory, you will have to use RMR. And people who understand me, RMR means remove recursively. Because file is just one, right? But directory can have n number of files. And I want to remove the directory along with all the files. That's why I'm giving. Sometime RM also works. Sometime RM also works. Let's say I want to delete the directory called big data. This may work, but if this is giving you omitted and directory cannot be deleted, use RMR. Remove recursively. Then this folder will be deleted. Okay. So remove the file from HDFS. This is also done. Then see file content from HDFS. We have seen also this HDFS, DFS minus cat and test of whatever file name. Change permission of file in directory. I'll spend some more time here because this permission is a big thing. This permission is a big thing. Okay. So let's go here and spend some 5 to 10 minutes on the permission side. Crucial this is in task wise. While writing this task to administrator, we will have to know this permission thing very well. So permission. First, in Unix, Ubuntu, across Linux, there are three different operations which user, owner, group member, others can perform or execute. So R, W, X. R for read, W for focus here, because after understanding this we'll have one question. If I want to change the permission, I'll give you a number, and using that number you'll have to tell me who is getting what permission. R is equal to read, W is equal to write, and X is equal to execute. X is equal to execute. Okay, so this is the full form. R read, W write, X execute. And this later are having absolute value, a fixed value. R is having value of 4, W is having value of 2, and X is having value of 1. Okay, R is having value of 4, W is having value of 2, X is having value of 1. When you include all of this, you get 7. 4 plus 2 plus 1. 7 can be a maximum permission, which I can say a full permission. A full permission. Okay. Whenever you see 7, you'll have to read it like this. Whenever you find 7 is there, which means it's a full permission. Full permission means you can read it also, you can write it also, you can execute it also. All these three you can do. Now, let me go to the cell. Now, this thing RWRR. So let me write this here. Let me write this here. RWR hyphen hyphen R hyphen hyphen. What this mean? This first permission, this RW is for honor. Actually, this whole thing is distributed within 3 different people or 3 different groups, you can say. First is honor. Honor means who has created this file. Who has created this file? So the honor name is Ubuntu. Or honor name means the guy, the system name. Who am I is a command to check that. So honor RW, this RW means honor. The first thing is honor. Second thing, this R. Second, this R is for group. And third, this R is for rest of the world. So I can say rest of the world, or I can say others. Who is neither honor nor a group, nor a part of the group. Okay. So first is honor, second is group, third is others. Now, can I say here what is the permission of honor? Just to looking at this number RWX, honor is having R and W. Always remember this priority. First is honor, second is group, third is others. Okay. So honor is having RW. R value is 4, W value is 2. So can I say honor is having permission as 6? I can say that 4 plus 2. Let me write every step. 4 plus 2, 6. Honor is having permission for reading and writing. Group is having just R. Group means multiple people can be a part of this group, just like your WhatsApp group, right? So multiple people can be a part of this group, and people who are part of this group, currently this group name is super group, they only have a read permission. So why this is required, why this is required from the admin perspective very much, and when this is required for developer, because you people have to create the CR. You are the people who will be creating the change request. So while creating the change request, while filling the form, you'll have to ask, you'll have to create a task design, you'll have to create a technical task, you'll have to create a technical task that I need to create a folder. So how do you write in English? You'll have to say, I'll have to create a directory in big data, Hadoop staging. I want to create this folder and I want to give this permission as 660. Let there's a big let. So I'm assuming I have to give the permission 660. Okay. I just give a number, but before writing this number, I should know what I'm writing, which means this 6 is for honor, this 6 is for group people, this 6 is for rest of the world. And I'll consider all of you people. Person 1, person 2, person 3. So we have 3 people currently. And I decided I will only give permission to person 1 and person 3. Because this person 1 and person 3 are working in such scenario where they need a permission of the directory, but P2 does not need. So what I will do, I will create a group. I'll create a group, any group name can be anything, and I will add this P1 and P3 and in that particular group. So whenever I give any permission to this group, these people by default get access, isn't it? If I give access to this group, P1 and P3 can get access by default. This is what is the concept of grouping. So only P1, P3 can access whatever is inside the group, P2 cannot access. So this is good from the security wise also, because in real time you are working with a cluster. So this is a cluster. This is a big cluster with a 90 nodes, with a 90 nodes. So obviously this cluster is not having your project only. This cluster is working with a n number of project. This cluster is having many project, right? Let's say project 1, project 2, project 3, project 4, project 5, and all are co-located working in a different locations. So my project P5, where we have 3 developers, 2 tester, 1 architect, I decided here that only few people, 3 plus 2 plus 1, can access anything which is related to project 5. This project information should not be visible to P1, P2, P3, P4. How can I do that? So to do that, this is what we are doing. I can restrict this access to only these people. Okay. It's very important from the admin perspective, because admin are the people who define this access. But guys, this is important for you also. This is as important as admin for developer also. Okay. So as admin require this knowledge, you will have to also know, because you are the people who are creating this technical task. If you don't know what permission to write, you will make a mistake here. And if you make any mistake, and by default you give access to people from P1 also of your project, they can see, they can delete, they can do anything, which is not right from the security perspective. Okay. This is why all system group permission, this is why all this system group permission, functional group permission, all this is important. System grouping, functional grouping. Okay. But for your from your side, only this 3 thing is important: read, write, execute, and understand what is the hierarchy. When you read them, how do you read them? When you read them, how do you read them? Honor, group, others. Please make note this. How do you read the hierarchy? Because Immediately after this, I'll have one question. Group is equal to R, which is 4, and other is equal to R, which is which is which is also 4. So this file is having permission of 644. 6 honor, 4 group, 4 others. So others can read it only, cannot execute and write anything. R is 4. R is 4. Remember this. This is your whole thing. R4, W2, X1, 4, 2, 1, 7. So this is read, write, execute. Hierarchy you will have to remember from here. When you see the file, first is for honor, group, and others. RWX will come for all, but order wise honor, group, and others. Now a quick question. So I'll create first a file, okay? Or let me change the permission of this itself. I want to change the permission of this file in such a way where honor can only read the file and execute it. Honor can only read the file and execute it. Group people can do read, write, execute all, and others. I don't want to give any access. No access. No read, write, and execute. Can you calculate me the number of this? What will be the number of this? 570. Perfect, guys. So 570, that's it. So you have calculated well, and you have given the file name also. Let me write completely now. HDFS, DFS. What is the permission? Command minus chmod, change mode 570. And if you don't want to write the full name, I can write this. Obviously, tab will not work here. Tab will not work in Hadoop. It's a volatile. So suppose you want to go to 5 directories, one directory, second directory, third directory, like nested directories, then you cannot use tab and get the directory. You'll have to write the absolute path. Or you can use one more thing. Since file name is very big, I don't want to waste my time to writing the file. I will give star. Star is a wildcard characters. Automatically they will take all this letters. Okay. So if you encounter such thing, you can use a star. And let me run this. When I run this, can I again list and see my permission? RXRWX. Yeah, so here my honor can only read and okay, this thing is for 1, 5. This is for second, and this is for third, 0. Nothing means 0. So 570. So I guess this is clear now. How we can give the permission, and we know the order, honor, group, and others. Enough for permission. And copy this and paste it here. So Hadoop, and let me change the file name. Let's say this is a test file. Change ownership of a file in Hadoop. Okay. So currently I don't have any owner there. That's why I'll have to create new owner, but command is very similar. HDFS DFS minus ch on, change ownership, and give your new owner, name. Okay, give your new owner name and file name, for which file or for which directory you want to define the ownership. Remember guys, one thing, sometimes we make a mistake. If it is a file, if it is a directory, we consider, if it is a file, we give ch on and file name. But what if it is a directory? Don't forget recursive thing. whenever you encounter any directory, always use -r specifically for recursive, so that it can be applied with all the file which are part of your directory. Make sense? So recursive is important whenever you work with the directories. For file it will work, for directories it's a recursive required always. So new owner name and file name. And I think this command is there in my directory also. So let me go to first blog and show you. So everything you can get it from here. Hadoop and basic Linux command. So where is ch ownership? Ch on, ch mode, ch on. So ch on, this is my new owner name, right? This is my new owner name and file name. This is my group name and file name and group file group name HDFS DFS minus CHGRP, same thing as that, and the group name of the file in HDFS. So which group you want to use and what file you want to take inside that group or directory. Again, recursive thing will come. So this you can make a practice of ownership, grouping, and file. This is something new and FAQ. This is a frequently asked question. How do we uh, how do we change the file size from 128 to any number? Let's just say my file size of Hadoop. Okay, this file size of Hadoop is HDFS DFS, or this is in local, so I can check using local also. And this time I want to copy this JDK. Okay, JDK has a size of 177 MB. Now if I simply copy this file using my normal put command, it will get me two different blocks. 128 MB first block, and second is I guess 49. So 49 MB is my second block. So one block. Now from copy perspective, I'm okay. I copied, I know how this will work, but process wise, this is difficult for me. I may not get optimized good performance. Why? I'll tell you. Because this both are tasks. Can I say this is my task 1 and this is my task 2? And both task 1, task 2 will go to some core for the processing, will go to some core, some CPU for the processing, some CPU for the processing. Let's say there is one core assigned. Let's say there is one core assigned for this and one core assigned for this. Okay, which one will complete first? Simple question. Which one will complete first? Obviously the T2, as you can see the size, and T1 can give me the output, and it definitely it will give me the output. It will take some extra time, which I cannot digest, and I decided to give the equal size of data for both the tasks. And when both the tasks will have equal size of data, they will go to one core individually, but take this equal time, but they will take the equal time. Because if I say I have one file with 10 MB and second file with 10 MB only, and I'm processing both using one core, if this is done in 30 seconds, this is also done in 30 seconds. Logically, it's clear. But currently in this situation, this is taking more time, this is taking less time. And to optimize that, I decided, why don't I copy this file using the custom concept of block size? And how do I get that? 177 by 2. If you want to divide this in two different blocks, 177 by 2. What is the answer? 88.5. So 88.5 will get, and my immediately understand I need to create a block with this size. I need to create my custom block with 88.5 MB size. Okay, but how do I do that? I don't know what is the value of this in binary and bytes. Okay, so I decided to perform one activity first. I'll run a command HDFS DFS minus D DFS dot block dot size. And this I'm only doing for this file. Okay, I'm not permanently setting that my block size will be 88.5. I can set it permanently also, but after this I will tell you that this is only applied for a single file. If you want to set global level, you have that option also. You'll have to set that in the property. We'll see that after understanding this command. dfs.block.size, and you're looking for 88.5 MB, right? Then you can get two blocks and your total time can be decreased. You can complete the task as early as possible. So first we'll convert this 88.5 MB into binary. We will have to convert this 88.5 MB into binary, and to do that I'll take a help of Google. I'll go to Google and ask MB to binary conversion. When I type MB to binary, I get a link. I click that link and I will write here my MB data, which is this 88.5 MB, and I will get this address. There is two address, guys. There's two address in decimal one, in binary one. You'll have to take this one. You'll have to take the binary one because system understands the binary data. Let me copy this and paste it here. This is the value. Double verify. Once this is done, that's it. You just have to give a put command. You have to give a file name, and you have this is the source where your file is stored. If you get confused, how do you know? You can directly type J and I'm getting this, so no problem. Do not give the relative path. Give absolute path. Home Ubuntu JDK. Both way it's fine. Only the objective is to get the file. So I can use this also since I'm already in home Ubuntu, or I can use home Ubuntu and this path. And I want to get this file name as Java. I don't want to get the bigger name. I want to change the file name. Content will remain same, and I will use enter. I'll use enter. Once enter is done, I can go here. I can list the file and see, do we have Java? We have Java available here. And file is exactly same. There is no changes. Now where changes will come? How do you know where I can check 88.5 MB? Where I can check that distributed file of 88.5 MB and 88.5 MB. This file should have two blocks, 88.5 and 88.5, and the unit is MB and MB. So where I'll get this? I'll get this inside data. That's perfect. So I'll get this inside data. I'll get inside this data folder, right? Because I have set this path according to my machine. If I do not set, it goes to TMP. Let me go there to data directly. So I type cd data, then I guess current finalized subdirectory lslrt. And there's the beauty, guys. You find this block which we have copied today, 27th March and 27th March, and this is the having same time 529 and 529. Okay, so we can quickly check the date. So this is our file. I will check first block size of this. So du minus h, copy paste, 89 MB. Okay, what is the size of this block? What is the size of this block? 89 and 89. Okay, so whenever you get output in DUH, disk usage and Hornet, so what they do not give you answer in decimal. 88.5, mathematically this can be written 89, but if I go and check byte wise, you can see if I change this exactly in a byte, it won't give me absolutely 89. It will be something with some point. But just for your reading, making your reading more easy, they what they do, they will give you the absolute value. They use the math concept. They will use round here. They'll use round here and make a upper value. 88.5 will eventually known as a 89. So both 89 89, and this is how your file is distributed. Now if I process both the file, same thing. When I'm going to process this data, when I'm going to process this Java file will request for 2 core, because there is 2 tasks, T1 and T2, and both tasks are having same data, 88.5 and 88.5. And that's why if one task is taking 1 minute of time, second task will not take more than this. They will also take 1 minute. And if I am saying this is a parallel approach, means in 1 minute I have processed my 2 tasks just using a simple concept. Yeah. So this is why the block custom is important. And many times I have, even in real time, I have used 50 MB of block size also at some time. 128 is definitely given. It's good. It's a better practice. But at times your core is not available. They are stranded. So we will have to change it. And the task of developer is always a trial and error. So we first test it in development environment, and once my testing is stable, I found my expected output, then we go and try test it. So trial and test is a part and parcel of our developer's life. Fine, custom size is done. What if I want to make universal for all? Let's say currently 128 MB is by default. I want to make a by default of 100 MB. I want, whenever I copy any file, internally they should be divided in 100 MB. So if I'm copying 800 MB file, instead of getting 128 calculation, I want 8 block straightforward with all block size B1, B2, so on till 8. All should have equal sizes. All should have equal sizes. And whenever I copy, I should not be writing this command. I should not be writing this command to increase my block size. This is main thing. From minus D till this part, this thing is changing your custom block size from by default to your custom. Okay. Now, if you understand me, if I want to change, if I want to make a global change, if I want to make a global change, I will have to use this as a name and this as a value in a property file. Okay. So here, let me write this. If I want to set it globally, I'll open a file called, and you have seen this file while configuring HDFS site dot XML. Remember, I already have done 3 tasks here. I set replication factor, I set path for name node, I set path for data node. This 3 thing is done. Replication we set as 1, name we have given a path home Ubuntu name, data we have given home Ubuntu data. And then I expect one more thing from this file, that can you please change my block size? We have added individual property for all these 3. So I need to add one more property for this block size in this file. And what is that property? It is very easy, guys. If you understand this part, you'll understand this part also. Property slash name. So this is opening tag, closing tag, and this name will be what? This name is same name. DFS.block.size. DFS.block.size. Should not be any space there. Okay. Any space between tags, opening and closing. And what should be the value? This value is this. 9279. And from where I get this value? From Google. I converted my 88.5 MB. Similarly, I will convert 100 MB now, because I said my task is to convert all the blocks into 100 MB. This will not work. This will not work. Again, no problem. I'll get a help of Google, and I'll go there and ask this. I'll go to Google and say, can you give me binary value for 100 MB? So when I convert this, I get this value. And let me paste it somewhere here so that I can refer it like this. So there was my property, and I wanted to add 104. I'm using this, okay? I'm not using this because this was 88.5. 104 85 7600. Close the value, close the property. That's it. This is what you have to write to make a global changes. And now whenever you run any command, HDFS, DFS, minus put, source and destination. So earlier it was taking by default 128 MB as a block size. Now it will take for all block by default 100 MB, because you have specifically said that I want 100 MB file. Due to any reason, maybe you encounter whatever file you are receiving from the web server, flat file locations, or RDBMS, you are seeing file such as 400 MB, 600 MB, 40,000 MB. So if you see such file, you understand this is not a combination of 128. This is better if I decrease my block and make them 100 MB, right? So this is clear. There's no right answer that we have to make a block size. This is the right answer for block. Block we use based on our application, based on what application we are working with. What are we looking for? So it is purely based on application. I won't say 128 is a good number, 100 is a good number, 80 is a good number. It's purely based on the application, number of core which is available. So obviously you have huge core available. I'll say distribute your job even lesser. Make a 50 MB, 40 MB, right? Make a 50 MB, 40 MB. Logically, if you understand what does that mean? Suppose I have 100 MB file, okay? Or let's say I have 1000 MB file. I have 1000 MB file. I distribute this 1000 MB file using 500 MB and 500 MB, two 500 MB file, and I give this to person 1. I give this to person 2. Person 1 has a good bandwidth, 2 also has a good bandwidth. They complete this task in X time. Okay, so let this X time we'll see this time later. Now second time, I think why don't I divide this file using 100 MB, 100 MB, 100 MB, 100 MB, and likewise till 10 times I have distributed 100 MB, 100 MB. Then third, I thought, why don't I distribute this file 50 MB each? So likewise, I'll get, here I'm getting only 2 block, here I'm getting 10 blocks, and here I'm getting 20 blocks, right? 2 blocks means 2 core, but core should have enough bandwidth to process this data because data is more here. It's like you have given one big task to one person or one machine. I'm using this P1 as a metaphor. Then you have distributed this file even lesser and given this 10 task to 10 different cores. You have this 10 core available. Make this clear. There's no core problem. Core is available as much as you can use. So there still core was available, but I did not use them. Here I'm using 10 cores. Here I'm using 20 cores. Which one will give me the fast performance where I'll get the answer as early as possible? My business execution time will be very, very less. It's like I just quickly done it, like 2 minutes may done. So which core will process them fast? When I'm using 2 people or 2 core, when I'm using 10 people 10 core, or when I'm using 20 people 20 core, where it will give me the best output if my core is available. There is no theory or application written, Jatinder. It is purely based on the scenario. What scenario we are facing? We will have to brainstorm. There's no written answer in any book that this is the best block number, we should use it. So there's no right answer. That's what I'm saying. We will have to use our application, what application we are working with. So all of you answer is right. This will give me the best performance. This core 20 core will give the best performance because my number of core is more here, right? And all are working using the approach of parallel, right? So try to use this methodology and use all of this command, and do your job. So HDFS, let me get this file from here. HDFS, DFS, and /Java. This is the basic command for HDFS.